Hey guys, I'm Jess.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are the Vamos Life. And today we're here to do a campground review at the KOA here in St. Augustine, Florida.
Vamos. The St. Augustine Beach KOA is located in St. Augustine Beach, Florida. We're St. Augustine Beach, Florida, right next to St. Augustine. Where's St. Augustine? It's in the northeast corner of Florida, just under an hour south of Jacksonville, and I think it was like 45 minutes north of Daytona, right here on the Atlantic coast of Florida. And it's an hour and a half away from Gainesville, as we learned. So check-in time, I believe, was after 3 p.m. Though I've seen it be a little bit flexible. I've seen some people getting here a little bit earlier with their RVs and kind of get into their spot if it was open.
Yeah.
Same thing with tents. It's been kind of flexible.
Their camp shop here is phenomenal. They have tons of beverages. They even have like eggs and bacon and stuff like that, waffle mix, candy, all kinds of wine and toilet paper and any kind of necessities that you need. They've got a pretty decent shop here for a camp shop. Like, it's one of the better ones that I've seen. Some
of the things I've been getting by on is you could buy coffee for $1. That's a nice big styrofoam cup about this big. So that's $1. If you want to buy cookies and cream candy bar and a Mountain Dew, that's $3 flat.
I see you know this.
Yeah, so I've been going in there and shopping quite a bit. The firewood's a little bit more on the pricey side, but I think all the firewood in Florida is a little pricier.
I think it's just in general.
It's like $9 a bundle.
Okay.
You're also going to get a mixed bag. Sometimes you get birch, sometimes you get oak. The difference is that the birch will catch on fire very quickly. The oak, not so much. So if you get oak in your mixed bundle, buy some fire starters. We went through a couple of fire starters this trip, this go around. Highly recommend it.
Some of the things that you can find here, some of the facilities, you've got 2 sets of bathrooms. You've got a pool, you've got a laundry room, you've got a little pond that you can go like boating on in one of those like rentable duck. They also have cabins that you can rent if you don't feel like tenting. They've got tons of RV pads. But going back to the bathrooms, one thing that I do want to point out is that the bathroom's connected to the main office. If you shower in there, you're gonna freeze to death. Like, we both found that out the hard way. There's a brand new bathroom more towards the center of the RV section where they're individually stalled. You have a toilet in there, you have a sink, you have a shower, and the water gets so warm.
Yeah.
Like, it really was a good experience showering over in the new restroom facilities. It was really nice.
Yeah, I don't know if it's new or remodeled, but whatever it is, it's in really great shape. It looks brand new. To Jessica's point, the shower head was phenomenal. The water stayed warm the whole time. I like to take long showers, so that was a big plus. There's also a laundry room in that building as well. So there's 2 laundry rooms. There's one over there, one over here. And sometimes it's a little annoying walking all the way over there from the tent sites, but it's worth it if you want to take a long shower or you want privacy of your own bathroom, because like Jessica said, they are individual rooms, so you go in and there's just a toilet and a shower, and some of them it's just a toilet. So
during our stay here at the KOA in St. Augustine, we chose a spot with water and electric. I think it's like one of their premium spots. They do have more of a primitive section over in the corner where they don't have electric or water. But right here where we're at, we have a fire pit, we have electric, and we have water. So we've got pretty much like the basic premium package that you could possibly get at a KOA campsite.
So this campsite, when you look at it online, it's going to say that it's a sand tent pad. That's what it was. That was a little confusing for us because when I hear the word tent pad, I'm thinking of lumber that's enclosing the area that you could set your tent up on. So we weren't sure if it was a 10 by 10 platform that you had to set up on top of, or if it was just sand as your foundation underneath. We're on one of the barrier islands here in St. Augustine. It's a beach, so there's a lot of sand underneath here. So it's pretty much sand and a little bit of grass mixed in as well. So really easy to put the tent stakes in and stake down your tent. One drawback of this is that it's sand, so you're going to get a lot of sand in your tent, and you're going to be dragging a lot of sand into your vehicle, and all your gear is going to be sandy for a while.
I suggest bringing a kind of a rug for the outside and inside, just so you can wipe your shoes off. If the sand gets a little wet, gets kind of caked on your shoes, make sure you have rugs and shake them out regularly. And the sand should be at a minimum. I swept once during our 2-week stay here, and it really didn't track too much in, but I mean, yeah, there's sand everywhere. So if that does not appeal to you, maybe think about going somewhere else.
So the electrical that's available here at this campsite is 20 amp, and then there's also a 30 amp connection. Something that we did was we pulled too much power from one and tripped the breaker, and we had to call the KOA people to come help us out. So
It happens.
yeah, so if that happens, there's like a little ground fault indicator switch that's actually on there, and all you have to do is just pop that out and you're good to go again. The other cool thing that they showed us is that they gave us a 30 amp adapter to 20 amp,
Yeah.
so that we could plug in some of the heavier drawing appliances, such as the air fryer and the little stovetop, electrical stovetop that we have, so it doesn't trip the breaker on there. So it's another cool little accessory to have in your bag of tools. If you're out tent camping in sites like this, you might want to look into getting one of those as well. The fire pit here has been my favorite fire pit of any campsite that we've been at. The reason for this is because it has a big open area for having like a regular campfire, and then it also has another area under a grill where you could cook over the grill top.
It's been one of the most spacious like campfires that we've come across, with the ability to cook on top of the grill and just
have an open area for having the campfire.
Yeah.
And also the grill comes off, so if you want to, you know, put things underneath there and then light it on fire, you could do that as well. So it's a removable grill top. It's like a small little thing, but when you've gone to a couple of different campsites and you see like poorly designed grills and fire pits and stuff like that, you kind of appreciate little details like this.
We're bonfire people, so we like to make fires. So this little thing is like a big thing in our eyes. So good job, KOA.
So aside from that, every campsite comes with a picnic table, which is pretty much standard issue KOA.
But it's like a
stuff.
bigger picnic table. Like, it is easy to get in and out, and they're taken care of. We're not like rotting away or anything like that.
One other nice thing that I've only seen on one other campsite, which was at the Flagstaff KOA, is that this KOA, they also provide curbside trash pickup.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel a little like you're staying in a 5-star.
It does, and it makes you think like, wow, this is actually like, I'm okay with paying the money that we've been paying for this campsite with all the little tiny
services.
services.
The service has been really good, because aside from the trash pickup that they come around, they will also deliver the firewood to your campsite. The first time that we bought some firewood, we loaded up in the back of the car, but then when our buddy and his wife showed up this weekend and we bought 6 bundles, they're like, oh, do you want it to be delivered? And I was like, oh,
like, yeah,
firewood delivery service. So we're like, yeah. So then, you know, they came by a couple of minutes later and dropped it off. So that's a really nice service. So the service here has been pretty top notch. As for the size of the tent sites, it's pretty spacious, I'd say. Yeah, it's about standard KOA sizes, I'd say. Ours here in 95, it's one of the smaller ones. Our neighbors, like 96, is really big.
It's huge.
And the one next to it too is pretty big as well. We saw a family that had like a 20 by 10 tent, which is bigger than ours, and ours is already like a tent mansion. They set it up there and they had room to maneuver around and park their car. Other than that, everything else is a little smaller down this way, but they're still pretty decent size. You're going to be able to get a big 10 by 17 tent like ours on here. You're going to have space for your picnic table and park the car parallel to the street and not be in the street. And also enough space that's away from the fire pits here. So you have enough space. Yeah, you have enough space. We also have premium shade.
We have, yes, that's one thing that we asked before we even got here. We asked for shade so we could sit outside and work and not be beaten down by the sun the entire day.
Yeah, over here in our little corner of the campground, there's all the ones along the fence line here have shade, which are like 97, 96, 95, 94, 93. And then once you get into like 92, 91, and 90, there's no shade. Yeah. So if you are looking to reserve and need some shade for your tent site, ask for one of those numbers.
No, but the shade over here has been great throughout the day. You get sunshine in the morning and early afternoon. It's 11:30 right now, and the sun's already over the trees. So we're getting in the shade. We're not in sunshine. So
yeah, you only get beamed by the sun early in the morning when it's rising. But by 11 a.m. you're going to be under the shade, and you're going to have shade the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It pokes through the trees a little bit, but it's nothing, you know, that a hat can't, you know, help you out from.
Yeah.
Protect you from.
The noise has been okay in the evenings. You might hear some cars driving by, but for the most part, when it gets nighttime around St. Augustine, I feel like it gets pretty quiet.
One thing that you do hear a lot of is like fire trucks going by, because there's a fire station around. So whenever someone calls 911 for an ambulance or a fire truck, that does pass by a lot. So we've been hearing that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're in the city, you're in town, all the city noises come with it. One of the main roads here in St. Augustine Beach, A1A, runs adjacent to the campground, so there is a lot of traffic there.
One thing that you do hear is ducks, because there is a pond in the middle of this campground, and there's so many mallard ducks here, and they even like make noise at night, but it's not enough to wake you up, but you hear it when you are awake. The lights, there hasn't really been anything that's kept me awake. It's been pretty peaceful for having a campground in town.
In town. For pests and wildlife, there's a big lake here, and there's ducks in it, along with some, I guess, cranes,
turtles.
What about bugs? Have there been any pests?
I haven't really experienced anything. The only thing was just that day of birds pooping on us.
Yeah, I think the biggest nuisance has probably been birds pooping on our tent. Last night, I think because it was a little warmer, I think some of the mosquitoes came out to play. Something was biting my legs. I don't know what it was, but something was out. Right now, the bugs aren't bad. We saw like a bumblebee a couple of minutes ago.
So we first got here, and there was a mama duck with at least like 6 or 7 little baby ducklings, and there is a hawk preying on these little ducklings, and I don't think there's any more ducklings. So that's been like the sad part about staying here.
Yeah, we've been here for a week and a half, and unfortunately, mama's left with no ducklings.
Yeah.
It was raining a little bit, and so it dropped into the 30s. So we're in Florida, dropped into the 30s. So don't think that, you know, oh, I'm in Florida and it's always going to be hot and sunny.
Yeah.
No, especially up here in northern Florida, that's a different climate than southern Florida by a difference of 10 degrees sometimes. I was talking with some people in Miami, and it was 40 something here, and it was like 50 something down there. So there is a bit of a climate difference. So be prepared if you're here in the wintertime with a sweater and sweatpants. Maybe a heater. We have a heater inside the tent that we're running when it got really cold at night. Fleece blankets to keep you warm. Just don't think, oh, we're at the beach and it's always gonna be sunny and it's always gonna be warm. Not the case 100% of the time. So there is Wi-Fi. What I noticed is that it's a little inconsistent in terms of reliability, especially if you're trying to do any video conferencing for work, or like we have a professor that's staying next to us, and she was trying to do some classes at night. I don't know how her service was on her Zoom calls, but when I was trying to do Teams, it kept kind of like freezing. So I had to go ahead and get my hotspot. The cell phone coverage here, since you are in town, you're not like in a remote, boony part of Florida. You're like in the city. The coverage has been really good on Verizon, and then the hotspot that I've been using is on T-Mobile, and I've had pretty good coverage with that as well. So you don't have to worry about cell phone coverage as much.
Some of the supplies that you might need to bring here is definitely sunscreen, because you are in Florida. There's sunshine all year round. There is a 7-Eleven across the street. There's a Publix right down the road. So there's things around you. And right now we have the old trolley passing us. So that's another cool aspect about this campground. If you want to go see downtown St. Augustine and you don't feel like driving or dealing with parking, they do have a trolley system here that you can actually like go up to the front office and be picked up, and you can go downtown and do a little trolley tour.
Yeah, I don't know if that bus is free, like, and you could just hop on, or you have to buy a ticket or whatnot. It says courtesy shuttle on the side.
Yeah.
And I think that's courtesy to take you to the trolley place to go ride. The trolley seems like a fun way to explore St. Augustine, and I looked at the map and there's like 22 stops. Way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk quickly about things to do here in St. Augustine. Fun fact, it is the oldest European settlement in the United States of America. It was founded in 1565. Yeah. It was an outpost for the Spanish Empire. They used to have a fortification here called El Castillo de San Marcos, or the Saint Mark Fortress in English, where they used to protect the intercoastal. There's also Fort Matanzas, which is a national monument that's down the way as well. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it turns out that the boat tickets get not sold out because they're free, but they go like at 9 a.m. There's people that are lined up. Yeah. The boat also doesn't run on Mondays or Tuesdays, so if you want to go see the fort, Monday and Tuesday are not good days unless you find a canoe or a kayak and paddle your way over there on your own. St. Augustine, the downtown, is a lot of fun. There's a lot of bars, there's a lot of restaurants, there's the Fountain of Youth that you went to.
Yep, I went to the Fountain of Youth the other day. That was pretty touristy, but pretty cool at the same time, because that's where Ponce de Leon actually like settled when he was here.
There's a Ripley's Believe It or Not, I don't know if you call them a museum or whatever. Attraction, but there's a Ripley's here. There's a lighthouse that's over on Anastasia Island that does work. It has its little light going at night. We saw it as we were coming back from dinner. Also, it's St. Augustine. There's a beach here. So on Anastasia Island, there's the St. Augustine Beach that's public. There's also the Anastasia State Park. That's a state park they have to pay to get into, but they have a really nice beach over there as well. And another campground, but if you're trying to get camping there, good luck. That's like in the lottery these days. We stayed there once and we haven't been able to go back.
And we've been looking, like every time we're like, you want to go camping? And it's like, let's look at Anastasia. It's nothing. It's like rare. Biking
is really good. We've done 2 different bike rides where we went south along the beach and then we came back, and I think that was 12 miles maybe.
Yeah.
And we did another one from here into St. Augustine downtown and went into what's called Lincolnville and kind of went down there to some park and then came back, and that was a nice little 12-mile loop. Lots of bike lanes in the area.
St. Augustine is just really pretty. It's super historical. It's super old. The buildings are really awesome to look at, and they're kind of modernizing everything too, with all the breweries and pubs and restaurants and whatnot. But it's pretty cool spot. It's really busy with tourists because since it is the oldest city in America, if you're ever in the area, it's a great place to like set up camp, and then you can go off and like go to Ocala, you can go to the Springs, you can go to Fort Matanzas.
Yeah, so if you're here on the weekend, pack a lot of patience because there's a lot of people and there's not a lot of parking.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to follow along on our daily journey, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Vamos Life.
Guys, we gotta get going. As usual, we got places to be, things to do, people to see.
Yeah.
We gotta get back to Miami. I need a haircut. I need to shave.
Yeah, we got a wedding to go to.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the road. See you next time.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.